Jack, right Jack.
Ice Cube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the team. Dream Team. TR. Show 'em what you got.
I'm gonna race this like I'm writing a song. See, these dudes don't know where I'm coming from. New York all day. LA, VA, ATL, International. TR ain't beat for the BS. Cause we next, raised in the PJs, I demand my respect. Dry your eyes, you hater, here's some Kleenex.
The Blackstreet Rejects.
Yo, I know, but I'ma let it ride though. And let them clouds keep entertaining them sideshows. Wherever I go, it's bigger though. Jimmy I Beam, Doug Mars, 50 Diddy, and Jigga though. I'm a humble dude, I don't like the sun. Niggas tryna front, I give them what they want. The jewels glistening, illa whips and exotic women, we just living it totally different.
For instance,
The Mike Jack tracks got me plenty raps. The wall-to-wall plaques, y'all envy that. They say Teddy whack, Teddy this, Teddy that. Do me a favor.
tell 'em Teddy's rap.
Black, I made you.
I made you.
Yo, Chauncey, man, I made you.
I made you.
What type of dude's supposed to be a dude filed bankruptcy just so he ain't gotta pay you? I must be some friend of Chauncey to not spaz when he crashed my Ferrari. Or simply living with me rent-free. Now you tryna file a lawsuit against me? That's a no-no, I love the promo though. They don't get your picture unless I'm in your photo. Remember when you tried to go solo, it wasn't good. You dropped a joint dope, but it went double wood. Mike Jack tracks got me plenty raps. The wall-to-wall plaques, you envy that. They say Teddy whack, Teddy this, Teddy that. Do me a favor,
Tell 'em
Black.
Teddy's back.
I need you to jam for me. I need you to jam for me. Teddy, I really need it. I need you to jam for me. I need you to jam for me. I need you to
I
jam
wrote this like I
for
wrote a
me.
song. And it goes a little something like this, the bridge. It's one thing that disturbs me, and I just don't know why. The whole brothers think without me, that they can still be God. When they book Aaron and Damien, the promoter pays 12 stacks. But when CR's on the bill, y'all, them same promoters pay 40 racks. That should let y'all know how much I mean to the brand. That should let y'all know how much I mean to the fans. R. Kel took your swag and X you out. All that drinking and drugging done stressed you out. Do me a favor, just shut your mouth. You need a permanent seat on Iyanla's couch. The R&B ether. Matter of fact, y'all should be on the new R&B divas.
Teddy, won't you jam for me?
What's good? What's good? Rod said that's that bubblegum music. Yeah, that's that music that you probably wasn't really getting your groove on back in the day. Or were you even alive? I don't know. I need music like that to get me going. What's good? Let's do a sound check. How we feeling? Let's get the message. Let's get the comments up. My apologies. I hear you. Criticizing my little music. That's all right. It's all good. The music is really for me. All right. That's where I'm gonna be my selfish. I mean, I need that music in order to get in the mode to come in here and do what I do. Maybe you'll get a gem or two instead of the entertainment of the sound of Teddy Riley and Guy and all those other guys. Let's try the entertainment and the sounds of Wyatt and see what happens. We might pull something out of this hat. What's good with everybody, man? I'm a little drained. I'm a little tired. Oh, yeah. I'm reading comments, and I've been reading comments all day because I was up late last night. You know, I'm an early bird. I was out with them fellas last night with my girl Hosh and her people over there at Day to Day. Last night was a late night for your boy. Y'all know I'm in bed at 10. I remember when my friends used to laugh at me when I would say I'm on my way home. They see me and I'm like, bro, I'm on my way home. I'm not, I'm on my way home. I got a 10, 11 o'clock. I'm already in the bed, laying down, ready to crash, ready to be done, ready to start the next day, ready to go on to start the next day. I never was one of them late owls, bro. I was a late owl when I was a DJ, but that's when I was a child. I was a young man. I was a young dude doing that. But a lot of my friends never understood why I didn't hang out, go to the bars, go to the parties, go to a lot of stuff, man, because I had shit to do the next day. I had things to do. I already had a schedule. And there was no way in the world I was going to be able to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I just went to bed at 2 or 3. I'm not built like that. My rest is purpose rest. I need my rest because tomorrow is going to be an aggressive day. It's going to be a good day. I got questions to ask and I got to pay attention to the answers. You understand what I'm saying? I don't ask questions just to be asking questions. When I'm asking you questions, they have purpose. You know what I mean? I ask my questions with intent. I'm trying to figure something out. I need to know something. You'll never get a wasted question from me. You understand? When I ask you something, it's to answer probably about 3 or 4 of my concerns, not just what I'm asking you. But yeah, my partners used to ask me all the time, like, what? Damn, bro, you going home? You going to the house? You sleep? You going to sleep? Or, you know how that is. Some of us, y'all know who it is. Y'all know who you are. You were the same person. You didn't hang out in the streets. You didn't stay out at the clubs late. You might have done it maybe once or twice, but we wasn't going to discount Tuesdays in the middle of the week or free Thursday drink one. And I wasn't doing all that type of stuff. And the reason why I wasn't doing it is because I knew I had something to do the next day. I had to get up. I can't think of a time. My body is set up to wake up every morning at 5:30. I don't even have an alarm. Some of y'all know I've said this a million times on this show. I don't own an alarm clock. Well, I kind of do because our cell phones have an alarm clock. I didn't really know that. I didn't know that it had an alarm clock like that. I mean, I never knew because I've never activated mine. I've never done it. 20 years I've been getting up at the same time every day. Doesn't matter what time I go to bed either. If I stay up late, 10:30, 11 o'clock, I'm going to wake up at 5:30, between 5:30 and 5:35 every morning, no matter what. The weekends are the same way. I just stay laid down. I'll wake up at 6:30. I give myself another hour to kind of lay around and, because I don't really have to do anything on Saturdays and Sundays. So I generally just kind of lay around to about 6:30. Nothing's really on television that early on the weekends. So I don't really, I don't watch a lot of TV anyway, because TVs are just so distractive. They just, a lot of the shows on today aren't really that good. And the shows that I think are good are shows that were actually about things that when I was coming up, you know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I had this thing of BMF. I was watching BMF. And the only reason why I was watching BMF, what attracted me to BMF was the clothes and the cars from back in our days. You know what I'm saying? Them early 90s. That was it. And once I got a hold of that and I was like, oh, okay, this is the Detroit story. You know what I'm saying? This is the Meech guy. You got to understand, these names are not new to people that are 50 years old. We've been knew these names. We've been knew certain people that was ripping and running in them circles. We knew that. So the only thing that had me gravitate to that was the fact that it was my era. And I just watched it because I seen they had on the fresh felines and, that type, the Diodora and stuff like that. That's it. I don't know. Other than that, man, the story and all that shit is lame. I'm not trying to watch, the dope game and all them guys come up and glorify it. This is why, to be honest with y'all thought I was hating when I was talking about what's his name? When I was talking about Jeezy. I'm not mad at Jeezy. Jeezy's a storyteller. But that's like a man 50 years old walking around here reading old comic books to me. It's on that same level. I'm past it. It's storytelling. I don't need a bedtime story. I don't need all that shit. We know what happened. It is what it is. And I don't need to be reminded of it. You know, I don't need somebody. I'm not dressing up to go listen to no bedtime story, or I'm not going down to symphony and all that old shit to watch a motherfucker. We 50 plus years old and you listening to, that's like reading the comic books at 50 years old. Who do that? That's just me. I mean, I ain't saying nobody's wrong. I mean, if you choose to do that, you choose to do that. But I'm just like, no, man, let's create new memories. I mean, you know, I ain't mad at Jeezy. Get your money, bro. I'm not mad at him. But I'm not about to be down there like I'm 22 years old listening to some shit that had me in a certain frame of mind. And especially if I had done some time off all that fantasy, fake ass, fraud ass music. If I did time in the penitentiary, living off some of them verses, shit. That's what's wrong. We got uncles and shit that tell us how great it was to be in the penitentiary. Man, I picked up 45 pounds in weight. My arms got big. They used to look at me on the yard, man. Them motherfuckers used to admire how my calves was and shit. I was out on the yard lifting all the weights, man. I came home and I was fit. Can't get no job, but I was fit. Now I got to go find some dubs. Who got the dubs out here? See, y'all don't even know what I'm talking about. Some of you do. Fuck that. Learn something else. Learn something else, man. It's time to gravitate our, shit. We know math. We've been, same guy, same mug who can't do algebra can do the hell out of some geometry, though. I mean, can do the hell, he can add up some damn symmetrics like a mug. You might not know trigonometry, but you know grams and pounds and ounces. See what I'm saying? I mean, let's convert that. We should have been converted that. And the sad thing is, I got friends that taught their kids the same thing they knew. Out here bragging. I got friends, man. I got friends. I got a couple friends, to be honest. I'm in one of my modes, y'all. I got a friend right now. He don't mess with me no more. He don't mess with me anymore because I wouldn't get his son out of jail. Okay? Because I knew that his son was about to get out here and it was about to be different for him. How do you tell somebody? And I'm gonna honestly say this. This is on my heart because some of you you don't know. You just be listening and you have these opinions about things and don't even know the facts of things and have these crazy opinions about things you know absolutely nothing about. But I had a buddy of mine. We grew up together. We weren't the closest. And he wanted me to get his son out of jail for him. And I refused to do it. How do you tell somebody that if your son get out, he's going to be murdered? How do you tell somebody that if your son comes out of the jail, he won't live 24 hours? How do you tell somebody that? So no, I don't want to be part of that. I pick and choose who I do business with. I pick and choose when I do business. And I just could not tell him that if he gets out of jail, the street's going to get him. Now, my 24-hour, sad to say, my 24-hour number was off, but my prediction was right. The young man got out of jail, and a week later, he was dead up on Short Vine, shot and killed. You know who's mad at me? The same dude who I wouldn't help his son get out of jail. Why are you mad at me? I guess you have to be mad at somebody. You should probably be mad at the shooter, the killers out here. But you mad at me, and we go way back. You mad at me because I wouldn't get your son out because I knew that if he stepped foot out on these streets, he was done. A week later, he's on the social media doing what we do when we lose a child out here in the streets, got the T-shirts, long live such and such, you know the names and all this T-shirts and won all this social media sympathy, and then everybody shouting, "Oh my God, another senseless killing." No, it wasn't. This guy was in the streets. And when he got out, street justice happened. It wasn't no senseless killing. I'm sorry to tell y'all. See, that's what happens, man. We get in these feelings, and then we got people out here that want to scream and holler and, oh, all these senseless killings and all this old. No. A senseless killing is what happened in up at Withrow. I use that as an example because that's one of the saddest things I've heard out of Cincinnati in a long time. That young man on his graduation night loses his life to a stray bullet. That's one of the saddest things I've ever heard. That's a senseless killing. That was not a street kid. But some of the bodies that I see being zipped up in bags these days, as hard as it is to say it, a lot of them are out there in them streets doing the type of stuff that's what happened in the streets. That's exactly what happens. And, that's part of the problem that we have in trying to end what we call a problem, a systematic problem. You got to know what the real system is before you can fix the problem. You're hollering and screaming at the wrong system. This is probably why a lot of people don't really watch the Wyatt Live show, because as much as they want me to be wrong, as much as a lot of people want to divert accountability, I won't do it over here. And there's a reason why certain brothers won't listen, because they got sons that's just like what I'm talking about. I wouldn't listen to me either. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I wouldn't watch this show if I was one of the type of people that I talk about or that we bring up over here. I wouldn't watch it either. I don't blame them. Oh, I don't watch him. I don't watch him. He think he know everything. He think this, he think that. He think he better than people. Nah, no, I don't. Not when I'm telling you about something that's actually happening. How did I create the deaths and the gangs and the shit in the city? I didn't create that. I talk about it. I talk about how it can be fixed. I tell you that the leaders don't really focus on the right things. They blowing smoke up your ass. I do say that. I wouldn't watch me either. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't. It has to be hard to believe Santa Claus exists your whole life, and then somebody come around and tell you, ain't no Santa Claus, bro. I was shook when my mama and them finally told me, because I learned in the neighborhood wasn't no Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? I learned out on the streets. I didn't learn there was no Santa Claus until I moved to the Fay apartments, because they dirty out in the Fay. They dirty. In downtown, bro, you could be all you could be. You could be a liar. You could be whatever you want to be amongst your downtown family. Ain't nobody gonna rock. They ain't gonna F with you. If you want to say that you the top dope dealer in the city or whatever, they'll let you be that. Be all you can be down the way. If you say you an entrepreneur, or you say you work on cars and fix cars, and you could be all you could be down the way, ain't nobody gonna mess with you. All right, player, go ahead. Be all, do what you want to do. But in the Fay, when I moved to the Fay, they would confront you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would be like, hey, bro, you got to settle down on all that bullshit. Okay. Oh, let me ask you this real fast before I go, because the phone lines was ringing. Are we serious? Is Hosh here? Antoine Fisher. Y'all know who that is, right? He said your ass grew up in Westchester. I didn't hear about Westchester. I didn't even know what Westchester was when I was a kid. There go my brother Donnie. Donnie know what I'm talking about, because Donnie used to say he played for the Cincinnati Reds. He wasn't number 12 out there lying and shit. I play shortstop for the Reds. Didn't nobody say nothing. What's up, Tracy Dillingham? She said the Faye laughed at me on Santa. Yeah, I know. I'm out there. I'm like 8, 9 years old, still believing in Santa Claus or some old shit. The first Christmas, it was ruined for me, Tracy. I got out there, had a new bike, all type of shit, talking about Santa brought it. Big Chili and them was like, nigga, ain't no Santa Claus. I'm like, what fuck you talking about? Look at all this shit I got. Santa brought this. They laughed at my ass till I started crying. Went home to my mama. Mama, they told me ain't no Santa Claus. Oh, let's have a talk, baby. I was mad. I was mad. Ain't no Santa Claus. What do you mean ain't no Santa Claus? David Herring, what's up, brother? He said Donnie was a bad man on that diamond. Donnie couldn't hit a curve, but let me leave my bro alone. That's my brother. He means me well. But y'all know Donnie didn't came in here and play me. He played me dirty a couple times on here. But it's all good. Brenda Early just said, and I know Tim Scott said the same thing, but I'm going to read this one. Bengals signed Joe Flacco. Now, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. My girl Hosh Gray and them, her people over there, we're going to talk about that show that I was on last night. I had a great time. I had an amazing time. I have to go back, or they have to come over here. We got to share it. It's Drink Champs one. It's drink champs, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. The only thing is, I was here in my studio and I did a Zoom, or if you want to call it, I entered their studio from my studio on a Zoom call. Some of you were there. They're gonna think I'm a psychic. You know why they're gonna think I'm a psychic? What did I say last night, Hosh? I know your boys. I know your guys are tripping out right now. What did I say? The Bengals need to go out and get a veteran like a Joe Flacco. They need to find a way to get Joe Flacco and get rid of Browning. He's not a very good backup. And look what I'm reading today. Bengals signed Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is not a great quarterback, but he ain't going to lose a game for you. Joe Flacco is like Andy Dalton. He's a game manager. This is exactly what conversation. Did I not say that last night on the show, Hosh? Y'all got the content. Y'all got the film. I said, you got to go get a game manager, somebody that can just manage the game and not throw interceptions. Do not throw to wide open linebackers. Flacco is not going to do that. Flacco is going to be efficient. Watch what happens with Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins. Watch them brothers start catching the ball. Flacco is going to be effective. Flacco is going to be effective. And the reason why I know this, yeah, Jack said he's better than Andy Dalton. I didn't mean that they on the same level as far as skill. I meant the ability to manage a game. You feel me? Like Andy Dalton wasn't going to run out the pocket and do nothing special. Joe Flacco ain't going to do nothing like that. They're game managers. They're the type of guys that can read a defense and just little dunk off and get rid of the ball, get rid of it. They can see where the blitz is coming. These are veteran guys that this is what we need. I'm just being honest with you. Flacco is perfect. The reason why it's perfect is because at the end of the year, he'll be gone. This is what you do in free agency. They should have did this in free agency this year. You know that Andy Dalton is fragile. You know that the offensive line is not all that great. I'm getting all these text messages now saying, about what we got going on with the Bengals. Because people know me. People who do know me know that I love the Bengals. They know I'm a football fanatic. They know I love my team. And a lot of people are going to be bitching and complaining about them picking up Flacco, but it's better than what we have right now. You hear me? It's better than what we have right now. And I'm going to tell you the difference between a seasoned quarterback and somebody like Browning, even with a bad offensive line, because your boy Antoine Fisher, that's Jesse, y'all. Jesse just said you can't do shit if they're not blocking. You're absolutely right. But a seasoned quarterback can see the rush coming. He knows. He'll tell big ass Orlando. What's his name? What's that dude name out there? Orlando Browning or whatever his name is. What's that big dude out there, number 75? He'll tell him, come on, big fella. I need 2 seconds. I'm coming on. I need 2 seconds, big fella. Just give me 2 seconds. Just fall down and roll or some shit and make them jump over you. I just need 1.5 to 2 seconds. Just get that to me. Boy. Joe Flacco is a better he's a better option than Browning. Okay. Orlando Brown, thank you, Stephen Speed. Orlando Brown is playing tag out there. I said this yesterday on our show. I said it yesterday on Day to Day podcast. That brother need a personal foul. He need a holding penalty. He needs something. He needs something to let everybody know he's actually in the game and he out there playing football. Because right now the only tape that we see on him is he out there pity patting people. I spoke on this all last night. Let's talk about last night just a little bit. Just a little bit. Last night, I want to thank my girl Hosh Gray. I want to thank everybody over at Day to Day Podcast. I had an amazing time, even though I don't drink and I don't smoke. I still had my cup, and we had a good time. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. We talked about several different things. We started out talking about the Bengals and what they need to do to win and blah, blah, blah. And I think the only thing that I said is what I told you over here. I said, Bengals offensive line is trash. Everything starts right there. I said they really need to go get a seasoned veteran quarterback, someone like Joe Flacco. And what y'all don't know is me and Zach, we pretty cool. I think he was watching the show last night, Hosh. I think he went ahead and called Mr. Brown and told Mr. Brown, like, hey, I was listening to Wyatt on Day to Day podcast, and he told us some shit. I know he's been saying some things, Mr. Brown, this year, but I think he said something that we need to pay attention to. I think he said something that is very legitimate. I think we need a game manager as a quarterback. And I believe he dropped the right name because Cleveland really don't need Joe Flacco. And we can probably get him for little or nothing. We could probably get him for a couple draft picks, if that, and a little bit of money. Cleveland gonna cut him. It's cheaper for us to trade draft picks instead of players. I don't even know what the deal looked like. Someone just sent it to me. I don't feel like reading the whole thing. It's text over here to me. I don't want to read the whole thing. I don't even care. Let's see. Fame. He's a football guy. He says this was a great pickup. The Bengals aren't out of the division, not AFC home field races. With guys like Higgins and Chase, Flacco will look good. Exactly. Y'all know Fame say some crazy shit sometime, but that's exactly, Fame knows sports. I'll give him that. And that is a very good pickup for the Cincinnati Bengals, as I said last night, as we were talking about it. And hey, Hosh, they looked at me crazy though, didn't they? When I said, get Flacco, they looked at me crazy. Your boys was like, I don't know. And then when I did my definition, I defined him. I said, well, we just need a game manager. Shit, we don't need a Lamar Jackson. We got Ferraris and Lamborghinis on the outside. You know, when you got receivers like that, quarterbacks shouldn't have to run. You see what I'm saying? They shouldn't have to run. You need a 2-step, 3-step drop, and now you got to not. Hey, Fame, check this out. You know what this is going to open up, bro? They can't put 5 in the box anymore. You feel me? Now your running game opens up, even with a weak line, because now that opens up the sweeps, the 6th spot, well, the 4th spot in the hole, and the 3 spot on the other side. It opens all that up. Flacco is going to be able to read the defense, and he's going to audible. He's going to make his adjustments. He's going to throw the ball to the inside versus the outside to Chase when it's necessary. Flacco is a veteran. I'm not saying that he's Tom Brady, but what I'm saying to you, he's going to be efficient. He's a game manager. This is what we need. And I guarantee you, if he comes in today, which he probably will, he'll be ready by Friday. By Saturday, he won't even be on the field. He'll just be in film room in Green Bay. And on Sunday, he'll be the starter. It don't take a veteran like that long. Because once they establish that little short pass, that little 3-yard or that little slant out there to Chase, you know what I mean, to Jamar Chase, that's going to make the defense shift. Now we can play. Our offensive line has to be better than one-on-one, though. You can't get beat on every one-on-one play. You can put Superman into quarterback. If your front line can't win the one-on-one, it don't matter who you have as quarterback. So our front line has to win the one-on-ones. Flacco is a good pick. I agree with that. I'm telling you, Hosh, y'all got a hot show over there. The Browns family and Jack Taylor was listening. They were listening. Couple things we did talk about on that show last night. Who all seen the show? Who was all there last night? I know it was late. I know it was kind of late for me. You know, it was definitely late for me. Some of the things we talked about over there were Black-owned businesses. And they asked me some good questions. You know, I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know. Hosh played me straight. She was like, it ain't gonna be that bad, Wyatt. We got you. It's all good. We won't set you up for nothing. But we had some really good conversations. We were talking about Black-owned businesses. One young guy, I'm pretty sure I'm older than probably the whole panel. No, I don't think so. I'm sorry. Antoine said, don't they play on Thursday night? No, not this week. I know we play. Our next Thursday night game is on Thanksgiving. So I think it's the Steelers. Do we play Steelers on Thanksgiving in Pittsburgh? I believe so. Our next Thursday night is on Thanksgiving. We still got a few weeks before Thanksgiving. But yeah, one of the things we were talking about was Black-owned businesses. And are we more critical? I think that's what I said. I think we're more critical on our Black-owned businesses. And I still stand on that. I believe that we as a people sometime will give our folks a chance. But it seems like when we give a Black-owned business a chance, if something goes wrong, we don't have a problem letting it be known. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But sometimes you got to give us some grace. You got to give us a little bit of slack. I know that sounds ridiculous to some people. I just don't think the same energy goes towards our businesses when it comes down to if something goes wrong. I used an example, and I'm sure a lot of people, you heard it because I've used it over here before. If Popeye's chicken run out of wings, y'all, oh, well, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Or I'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday. I'll be back here on, blah, 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 blah. But if if our restaurant run out of wings, you criticize Black business as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not right. It's not fair. We do it all the time. And then one Black-owned business doesn't represent and it doesn't speak for all Black-owned businesses. And, it's just I understood where them guys was coming from. One guy said that he had his car worked on. It took him 31 days to get his car fixed, and he had a rental and this and this and that. His insurance was paying it and blah, blah, blah. Then he took it to the white man and he had it done in like 2 days. Stuff like that. When you hear stuff like that, I'd like to know, content is, why that happened, how it happened. I mean, maybe the first guy had to order parts and they weren't in the country. Some of us have foreign cars and they don't have all the parts in the country. And if you're bringing them in over ships or something, sometimes it takes 2 weeks to get in. Sometimes it takes a week. Maybe the company was backed up. I don't know. But I made a point last night to these young men that I think we all can agree with. I don't know. I say that not everybody who's in business is really in business. I think a lot of people who own businesses are running little shops and stuff like that. They're just hustling. You can always tell a real businessman or a businesswoman by the way they do business, by the way that they stick behind their work, by the way they sell themselves. That's the easy part, is to sell yourself. Oh, I can get this done. We'll get this done in a minute and blah, blah, blah. It's no big deal. Blank, blank, blank. Talking shit. That's what we do. Even hustlers, they just talk shit, right? Talk right into the sale. How do we deliver? How do we deliver? What I notice is that when I go in other cities, I travel a lot. When I go into cities, that have Chinatown, Greek town, and things of that nature, you just never hear wide open. I don't know what they say in their bedrooms or in their kitchens or in their dining rooms. I don't know what people say. I don't know what Asians say inside their house. I've never lived with Asians. I've never lived with Greeks or anything like that. But you just never see any publications, or you never hear them talking on the radios or the TVs or podcasts. You never hear them talking about how bad Asian business is. I ain't gonna do no business with no Asians. We just be doing the foulest shit. I never see that out of Greek people, who else is it? You got Jewish people that got their thing going on. You got the Asians, you got the Latinos, you have everybody but us. But for some odd reason, we go in, we want to make deals. You know, I use the Foot Locker analogy. I said, wait a minute, hold on. If Angela Kinney owns this shoe store right here and they got Jordans and hers are $199, and then Foot Locker is a few doors down and they had the same Jordan for $199, we'll walk in Angela Kinney's shoe store and we want to try to talk her down off her price. We want to try to talk her down off her $199. You know what I'm saying? You go in the Foot Locker and you slap that money out there quick. They ask you cash, check, charge. How you going to pay for this? I got it. Throw that $205 down there so fast and get the J's, and you feel good about yourself because now you got on $200 J's just like everybody else, the other 19 other pair of 10s that they had. So, but when you go in Angela Kent, you want to talk her down on her price. It's just, we got it. It's just a little bit better. We got to do a little bit better on that. What else did we talk about? Haj, come on, put it up there for me, sis. She said what? She said, why Chinese don't do commercials? I don't know. I think we're a little too critical of our businesses. And that's why some of y'all probably seen me crash out that one time. I had a problem when Darius Cook, or whatever his name is, I'm not quite sure of his name, the Darius dude came in and said what he said about our businesses, our Black-owned businesses. You know, I just had an issue with that, because you just came in here, got your clicks, got your, made your fun, did your fun, as some people would say, and tried to make some points. And it's like, if he would have spread it out, and if he would have maybe had, maybe, I don't know, what's that, the Boathouse, or what's the barbecue place down there? You know what I mean? If you would have had some all shades of businesses in your plan when you went to Cincinnati, you say you were sipping, okay, sis. That would have been different. But you kind of targeted Black-owned restaurants. And see, what you got to understand is this young man has a following. People from Indianapolis watching, people from Cleveland watching, people from Detroit watching. And, just like, for instance, there was Black folks in the city of Cincinnati over the weekend. All right. And they had an option to go to some restaurants in the city of Cincinnati, being from out of town, and if people have a bad impression of your restaurant and they've never been there, but they heard these bad rumors from this one individual, that can hurt your business. We just got to be a little bit more supportive of our businesses, because that's the only way we're going to move the needle. That's the only way we're going to change things in our community. Politicians are not going to change it for you. You see what I'm saying? Politicians are not going to change our circumstances. Our circumstances change economically. All right. So we got to understand, to spend money within that's the number one asset that we have as a community, is the money. So we have to make it circulate amongst our people more than once or twice. All right, let me go to the phone lines, man. Maybe this is someone that can help me about last night. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's going on, Wyatt? This Haj.
Hey, Haj, how you doing?
I'm great. Now I was sipping last night, so I can't remember everything everybody was talking about because I
Ah,
was back there engineering. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
y'all got a team over there. Y'all got a team over there. But hey, listen, let me say this before you make whatever point you're gonna make. I want to thank you
yeah,
for having me on your platform. I had a great time. All the guys were super nice. Everybody was very was really steady on their points. You know, everybody had a different perspective. Everybody, we love to talk football as men, and I love the fact that we were talking about things that could make us better. You know what I mean?
yeah,
We were sharing incidents, and we were able to we watched something break, and we were able to pull all the stuff together and put it back together and come up with something that could work instead of what didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed that.
exactly.
I enjoyed that. I really did. Thanks for having me. I was very I was I was really happy. I hope you guys have me on again. I'd love to come on. I would love to come back. I'm kind of inviting myself, but I'd love to come back again.
Yeah,
I
no,
enjoyed it.
no. They actually said that yesterday. They said we would love to have him back on. They really, especially damn Sam. He most definitely was like, yeah, I got to follow. So
That's my
I
guy.
told everybody to follow. You gave everybody information, but they did say they wanted to have you back on, and then they want you to connect with me, and I set it all up for everybody to come on your show as well. However you want to set that up.
Okay.
Um, but what I was gonna say was about advertising. I've never seen, people eat Chinese food.
Mhm.
It might be off topic, but people eat Chinese food all the time, and ain't never seen one commercial.
I think
I ain't never seen it.
Benny Hanna, the only thing I've ever seen that ever ran some type of advertisement. Um,
But
but
that ain't Chinese. That's ain't that Japanese?
well, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess I hope that didn't sound racist. I mean, that's the only Asian type of food that I've ever seen really, advertised. I think most Chinese restaurants, if that's what you want to keep it at, I think most of those are small owned businesses. I don't know a national flagship Chinese business or Chinese restaurant. I know Benihana, like you said, is a Japanese thing. They're like a flagship. They're a main company that they're a big corporation, so they're out in different cities. You know what I mean? So that's why they may advertise because they can. But smaller businesses, they have a hard time doing that television advertisement. And now in 2025, those restaurants, I think it's dead money, no pun intended, to advertise on television because of how social media is functioning these days. It's much cheaper, and you get the audience that really like, the algorithms are pointed towards the people that actually rock with your style of whatever you're selling. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I was just calling in to tell you we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yesterday was a great show. I love, I watch. I'm a fan, so I most definitely love what you do. So that was amazing, and we would love to have you back on. And then we got you too. So just holler at us, whatever you need,
Absolutely.
and we there.
Absolutely. I will be reaching. Now, you know what? I'm going to do it big boy style, like I told y'all last night. I'm going to have my people reach out to y'all people.
Okay.
I'll be calling soon. I'm my people.
All right. All right. All
Hey,
right. All
thanks,
right.
Hosh.
I'm
Talk to
still
you.
watching.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you. Thank you. Thanks for engaging. Yeah, we had a good time last night. I think I shocked a few. For some odd reason, like I was sitting there not knowing. I've never been shy. I've never been a shy guy. Like when I come to a place, especially if I'm invited, I might look like I ain't gonna say shit. But damn it, when you get on something that I know about, if you get on something that I like to talk about, I mean, I was trying not to be the guy that they were gonna say, damn, he talked too much. I wish he shut up. So I was holding back. I was over here sitting on my hands like this, trying not to get all involved in all the conversations. But sometimes it's best to sit back and listen because you got to read the room. Sometimes listening, you'll learn more from listening than you'll learn from talking. That's in most cases. But yeah, I had a great time. I think the brothers I think they're a little bit younger than me, but that's okay. I love the fact to see how younger people minds are flowing and what direction they going in. And I tell you, man, I I don't think that they think anything different of how we think about Black-owned businesses. You know, we all have had our struggles. You know, I've used a moving company that was brothers, and I'll never use them again. But I'll never say what the name of the organization was. Nor this. Check this out. What I mentioned last night when I was talking about our businesses, I said the most important thing about business is referral. Okay, your referral business is going to be, that is the most important part of a business. The person that comes in that you treat right, you may not see that person again in a whole 12 months, a year. But how many people will they send you as a business? How many times am I going to move in a 10-year period? Maybe once, twice at the most. But what if I send 5 people to your moving company? Because someone may ask me, hey, Wyatt, do you know any movers? Do you know anybody that do that line of work? And then I send you 5 people. Those 5 people end up sending you 5 people. Those 5 people end up sending you 5 people. The referral game is gangster. That's where it's at. That's why it's important to have good conversations about the businesses, because that's where the referrals are planted. And when we talk bad about our businesses, all it does is it makes people go somewhere else without giving a fair shot to somebody that look like them. I don't, you know, I'm just like that because I know other people are like that silent. I don't mean us. I don't mean people that look like, I'm talking about other people do that to support people that look like them. They just don't have to say it out loud. We'll get mad. We'll get mad if we notice, oh, them white boys sending all that business over to the white people. They should. Don't get mad at them because they playing the game of keeping the money in circulation. That's what we need to do. Instead of getting mad, we need to copy the blueprint. That's just me. Or do what we said last time. Just don't be a Black-owned business. Just be a business. And that came up last night. I love that question. The young man that was on the panel was like, man, should we even call ourselves Black businesses or should we just be businesses? Don't that sound familiar from a couple, 2-3 years ago on Wyatt Live? It's like, bro, I would never put a I'm Black-owned business sign in my window because everybody's not coming. But everybody money deposits the same at Fifth Third Bank or whoever you bank with. All the money deposits the same. But when you represent yourself as a Black-owned business, there's nothing wrong with that, family. But let me tell you what happens. Not everybody rock with Black-owned businesses. And I'm not talking about Asians and Latinos and white folks. I'm talking about people that look like us. Not everybody wants to support a Black-owned business because they've heard all these little, all this old stuff, this bad stuff about, oh, they don't finish, they don't produce this and this and that. I get a man a shot and blah, blah, blah. Lord knows if we have a mistake happen, see, I knew I shouldn't and now I want it for free. All that old shit. We just treat each other different when it comes to business. It's not fair. We got to do a little bit better in that area. And I'm telling you, things would change. I think the biggest thing that we can do, and once we start producing our own economy, you'll see how you're really needed. Let me go to the phone lines before we move on. Sorry about that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm struggling today. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, it's your number one fan, man. You hated on me last night, but it's cool.
Twin, what's good with you? What did I do with you last night?
Yeah, you talked about my phone and everything.
I didn't say one word about your phone. See, how you gonna?
You said what, you got a Metro PCS phone?
No, I didn't. I don't even know what that is, bro. I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. Was that you calling it? I didn't even. That was you calling in today's show. I didn't have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you vouched for and co-signed with them and everything.
What
they
did
said
I say?
something too.
What did I say?
You co-signed with them
Okay,
and everything.
what did I say?
I got a rebound off of it. Remix off of it.
Okay, no. What I'm saying is, what did I say?
You said something, though.
What? What did I say?
I think he said you got a Metro. You said you got a T-Move or something. You said
no, bro. That was the studio. That was them talking. That was them talk. I ain't trying to look. If I said something, I say
whatever, man. I know what you said. You was co-signing
no, you don't
right
know
along
what
with
I
her.
said.
That's all right. That's all right. I got you though.
Look,
I
wait a
got
minute,
you.
hold on, bro. Hosh just said that was my husband, Wyatt. See, that
Oh,
wasn't even me.
that was man. I could have swore that was you, man. Too. You was in it all in it too, but it's cool. Y'all sit together. Y'all fam over there. But no,
Well, you got that's the only thing you said that's been correct so far. Is we fam over there.
no,
Yeah, I think I'm
it
part
was
of
a
their
great.
family now, and it's all good. But what happened? Why couldn't you get through? What was up?
Hey, I called and everything in this. I just, you know, how I can call you. You say, go, uh, call or whatever. We
Yeah.
can talk. I just don't know. But when I went off, hung up, and I went on Facebook, and it said I was saying I heard myself saying hello, but I didn't hear them.
Mm.
Y'all heard me, but I couldn't hear them say nothing.
All right, I tell you what. Do you remember what you wanted to say on the platform over there? Do you remember?
He was talked about ICE in Chicago, and he talked
Oh,
about
they did
and
talk
then your
about that.
guy talked about business, how a Mexican can put up a roofing within a day or two, and why we can't take us forever.
Okay, yeah, that was part of the black-owned business situation.
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
talking
mean,
about. But you gotta, you know, when they say black, you think it's cool when they advertise that, like on the radio or TV, like black on and all. One
no,
that feel like,
no, I really don't. And let me tell you why. Because and a lot of people are gonna get mad at me, and it's nothing to do with the black-owned company itself. It's just I don't think that there's enough of us who support
yeah,
black-owned businesses that way. So I think that businesses can hurt themselves trying to be for the movement.
yeah,
You have to have the people have to be down for the movement to match the
yeah.
energy of the owner. You see what I'm saying? Like me, I support black-owned businesses. For years I've done it, but at the same time, I got to be realistic. If there's something critical and crucial that I need done, I got to go with the best source. I need it to be done. But
It's two things that would mess you up.
okay.
One is, even though me and you cool for 30, 40 years, why
Mhm.
pay just like you go pay them yin yangs or them Habib and all them. I'll hook you up sometime, but damn, you abuse your hookup, man.
What
And
you
then you
mean?
say once I get you to hook up, you spread the message, you come your other fam. No, this I'm hooking you up. I gotta no man. I ain't making no money like that. That's what messes up. And the next one messes up is customer service. I went to New York and she well known. I'm gonna get it from my brother last year. She wasn't there, white. She be on TV sometime. This black lady, good food in New York,
Okay.
Southern type food. Man, her customer service say, ain't no way if she was here, she'll let this go down like this. And it was bad customer service, good food, but it was a nasty attitude. That
Okay.
makes you like, man, I don't even want it. And I told my brother, I'm cool. Look at her, man. She out ratchet talking. No, you don't have to talk to nobody. That shows me like, hey, you might spit in my food type. I don't even want it because of your attitude. See, if you got good, the food might be good, it might not be, but if it's good and I know it's good, you can't have an attitude like that.
Okay.
And that's bad, customer service to me. That's two things I look at. But just like dude said last night, hey man, I had your car and stuff. Hey, give me 4 months. Give you in 30 days, but you take the little old Bobby Jr. over there, the white boy, he got you right within 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, but let me say
And we
something
gotta
about that,
do, we
twin.
gotta amp this up,
Hold
man.
on. Let me
We
say,
gotta do better.
yeah, let me
Go
say,
ahead, man.
let me just say something about that. I didn't jump into the conversation on that end of them. I did say that was kind of crazy, 31 days and stuff like that.
Yeah, when he
But
said something about it.
but now let me just say this. I've been to quite a few white-owned companies or whatever, the Arabs and stuff like that. They have horrible customer service. I've been to a lot of other companies that are just not me, don't look like us, and they've had messed up days. They didn't fulfill, the order properly, or they were late or something. We don't criticize them the same way we criticize our own. I have a problem with that. I mean, because we don't understand. We do understand. I just don't think we care that word of mouth is critical. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? Like, word of mouth is the biggest. That's your referral game. And if people say, "Oh, I'm not going to Twins restaurant. They dirty down there." There's a huge chance, twin, that nobody's coming to your restaurant just to find out if it's dirty or not. They're just assuming that your place is dirty because that's what people say. You see what I'm saying? And I don't,
Yeah.
the benefit of the doubt has already evaporated. It's gone. No one's coming to your restaurant because the word out there is y'all dirty, and I'm not gonna come there to try to find that out.
You know why they do that?
Why? Who do that?
Black folks. It's just like hating and everything. They do that because they spread the myth, man. You take your car to Junebug, man. Don't take it to him. Take the white boy over there, because Junebug, had your car 3 or 4 days. And then they spread the message. And once that message been spread, hey, don't go to Junebug. Just like you were just saying, don't go to Junebug. Because you're going to have your car all day, man. Take over there to Bot.
And then nobody even gives Junebug a chance, because Junebug might have had a bad day. All right, he may have had a bad day. He may have had, we don't even know why that one particular customer had a bad situation.
Because he don't like sometimes like Junebug.
Well, it may not even be that. Maybe him and Junebug had a bad business situation. Maybe it's actual fact that they got into it and it just didn't work out. Maybe that customer had a car that Junebug overstepped his boundaries in and said, I can get this done, but Junebug didn't have the tools. You can't work on all cars. Some of these mechanics will pick up a job and they don't have the proper tools to work on certain cars, but they know how to fix brakes, but they may not have the screwdrivers. I know this is going to sound kind of, kind of stupid, but all cars don't use the same type of actual tools to get to the nuts and bolts. Some of them use different type of tools, and they're not over the counter sold tools. You have to buy them directly from the manufacturer. And
that's a special tool.
All those guys don't have the same tool. So maybe he thought that he'd be able to get it, and it didn't happen, or he was going to borrow somebody's. I don't know. But the bottom line is, the only way we're going to get out of this conversation and talking about what somebody is doing and what they're getting, we got to pay attention to our economics first. We got to say, how did the Arabs and all these guys come into it started with the Asians that came in our communities. They wiped out Vince Martin's, all those places down on Land Street. I don't know all the neighborhoods in the city of Cincinnati. I can only go by the neighborhood that I watched. I'm not trying to be nasty, rude, or disrespectful. But I grew up in downtown Cincinnati where Land Street was predominantly Black-owned businesses from hair salons to fish bars to the penny candy store. All of it was Black-owned. And within probably 10 to 15 years, all of it was becoming Arab and Asian. Okay, here's I moved out to the Fay Apartments. Same situation. Somebody help me if this domination is off, please tell me. The Fay Apartments, when I was growing up there, Tracy Dillingham, tell me if I'm lying or dying on this one. The Fay Apartment had to be 99.9% Black. You know what store we went to up on the corner? Swartz. Now, what Black man or Black woman or what Black family is last name Swartz? That happens to probably be German. Swartz been up there 50 years serving the Black community, and we ain't opened up one store. I don't understand that. Go to Winton Terrace. And here's what I don't understand. I know y'all don't want to get political because I don't either. But if you got political leaders in your community, the first thing they should be teaching us or putting in our own hands is capital to be able to own our own destinies.
That's true.
Why don't we have stores in our own communities in Winton Terrace, in the Fay Apartments? Swartz had to burn down to the ground for somebody to possibly go up there and make some moves. I had a young man, a guy that I grew up, Robert. I don't know if y'all know Robert from the Fay, but his father used to own or coach the 6-man baseball team. Okay, we were young guys. We was 12, 13 years old or whatever. His father owned, he was the coach and the owner of 6 men. They had Pittsburgh Pirate uniforms, right? His father opened up a small store that was across the street from Swartz, and brothers and sisters would walk right past it. They walk right past it and go right to Swartz. His Grippos didn't taste better than Swartz Grippos. I don't get it. His hot pickles didn't taste as good as Swartz hot pickles. We didn't even think to go over across the street to that man's business, to patronize his business, to build his business up. I don't get it. And the reason why we don't do that is because we're not really focused on it. We're not taught that way. We're not taught, and I think that's part of the change that I'm trying to make. Some of the things that I try to talk about, some of the things that I try to bring up to the platform. It's about self-sufficiency. I think Jerica said something yesterday when I was talking about everybody don't have to be an entrepreneur. It's not about being an entrepreneur. It's about learning what entrepreneurs do so you can support one. You don't have to. I'm not saying that everybody has to be a business owner, but I think we all should understand how business works. I think you'll become more attractive to things once you're involved in it. Once you understand how capitalism works, once you understand how having your own and being independent and things like that, if we teach and show our kids that way early, we'll run our own stuff. It's a possibility. You don't know who's going to be an entrepreneur until you put it in their spirit. You just don't know. So that was my whole point of saying, hey, we have to learn how to be more independent. You know what I'm saying? We just have to learn how to be more self-sufficient, and it'll solve a lot of the problems that we have today, that we've had for decades. Go ahead, Twin. Sorry, bro.
Hey, Wyatt, I got a question, serious question, Wyatt, and you can help me on this and the people in Cincinnati in the Wyatt Lab chat. Hey, Wyatt, the city manager last week or 2 weeks ago gave a slumlord $1 million, right?
I don't know. Okay. You say he did?
I don't know. Yeah, some slumlord gave $1 million, I guess, on a development property or something like that. Hey, Wyatt, they got a program that's going to start in March 2026 of next year for the homeless people that's living in their cars, students and stuff, parents, I guess, right? And then they're going to provide them with hygienes and food and all that.
Okay.
12 lots or whatever, 12 locations, whatever, on Tav Elementary, high school parking lot, whatever the case may be. Why? My thing is this, player. Why they can't allocate that money to open up a Goodwill student shelter or something for the parents and all that? And then when it turned cold, Wyatt, where do these people go when it get -4 degrees and all that? You got to think about that. And then another situation I saw, Wyatt, it was they coming out with a loitering, no loitering downtown, with I guess city around a certain whatever that choo-choo train in a government square or whatever. And I was like, damn, that's a knockoff for ours probably or whatever. I said they playing kind of low. I said they really trying to take that contract or whatever she got going, even though she got 5 or 6. But I believe they trying to, backdoor her or whatever, because this been going on for years. People chilling at the government square or any transit thing. I'm like, something ain't right here. So, I just try to scoop and read through the lines of how the people in Cincinnati's local leaders maneuvering on the slow pace to catch y'all in the know when they say, hey, we got a non-profit organization come here. We got the Buck 2000 Art Museum coming here or something like that. But when they're on the low, they just playing y'all, and y'all don't want to, catch it or whatever. I don't think y'all want to focus on is the ISIS and everything else, but y'all not focusing on the real things, man. So my concern is you give a man $1 million, a slumlord to open up some development, but you got y'all say y'all for the kids and education and all that, but you can't house these kids nowhere, but you get $100,000 to come babysit my kids until I get out of work until they, mess around curfew and all that. Some don't add up to me, man. That's why I get on these platforms and express my opinion, whatever's on my heart. People might not like it, but I'll be concerned, man. Okay. And especially about the shorties, man.
Well,
and then the way y'all spend y'all bogus money on nonsense. Go ahead, man.
Okay. I'm going to try to start from the beginning. I don't know about what you're talking about with the man who got the $1 million for the slumlord who got $1 million. Did he get it? Okay. I'm just for argument's sake, he got $1 million to do what?
I don't know if it was city manager gave $1 million on a redevelopment of a property somewhere. I forgot where it was. I'm like, what, $1 million for this? When you got people, I got to read it back. I think it was for a redevelopment. Somebody can help me in the chat.
Okay, so now, if you don't really know exactly what happened there, you're not upset about it, are you? You're not upset about what you, because I'm not
slum lord, man.
Okay.
Not no A1 lord. He's a damn slum lord. Not nobody A1 who do right for the people. He's a slum. Come on, Wyatt. He ain't about nothing.
So they gave him $1 million to do what?
It's got to be redeveloped on some type of property or something. Not just, hey, here, you do this and go handle that. It's got to be a redevelopment on something.
Right. So is it a redevelopment for homeless? Is it going to be a homeless shelter or something?
No, it's probably a redevelopment. Something he cut a deal with him. Something, man. I don't understand. But that money could have been allocated to the students. Y'all say that y'all been crying out for years. We got such and such thousands of homeless students living in cars. Okay, y'all been saying that for what, 3-4 years? I've been hearing about it. Where's they shelter at? You can get hygiene and food and all that. I understand that it's good, but when it gets -4 degrees outside, where they go?
I think
that's the problem.
I think I would be upset with you, twin, if I understood exactly what was going on. But since I don't understand what's going on, it's going to be hard for me to say this is what I would do, and me be upset, because I'll be honest with you.
I'm gonna try to go pull it, and I'm gonna put it in the wildlife group.
Okay.
And you can go from there, and you'll say, or whatever your opinion about that. I thought you might, be up on it. I know you be busy and all, but
I don't know about this. I mean, see,
it's been in I believe it was in the wildlife group.
But see, I think you're
a week or two ago.
You're putting a couple different issues into one. I hear you. I know the passion that you carry with this, but I think we have to pay attention to homelessness. Cincinnati public school kids that are homeless, that's a little bit different than the city allocating money to properties to, I don't know, it could be beautification, it could be a loan that, it can be a loan that the city is giving an individual because this property is too valuable, and maybe it's a eyesore, and that $1 million will get it right back. Because what you don't want to do is bring a piece of property into your city and go through what they're going through right now with what's that apartment complex, guys, that they had water coming through the ceilings, it was bad plumbing, and it's owned by a buyer's group. It has millions of dollars worth of fines and penalties on it, and they can't do anything about it. You see what I'm saying? There's an apartment building in the city. They've been talking about it for.
You talking about the one down the way with the rats and all that?
Well, that most of the ones that I'm describing are that, but I'm talking about a specific.
Either that or that development group, realtor group, Vineyard Vengeance or something.
No. There is a apartment complex where people were complaining about
Williamsburg.
There you go.
Oh,
you don't want
them dang all Africans took over there.
Yeah, you don't want a Williamsburg situation to happen, twin. This is why sometimes cities. Thank you, Ron Dula. It's Williamsburg, like twin said. Thanks, Tanika. Those type of situations, sometimes the city will step in and try to assist, and they're not necessarily doing it for the owner. They're doing it for the people that live there, because those people will be displaced. You see what I'm saying?
I understand that. Why? But my anger is towards a damn slum lord.
Okay.
Who's known for having a bad rec. That's my thing. Give it to somebody you can trust. That M-Day Day dude for Cincinnati. Somebody, a developer, right? Or somebody, whoever
I think you mean Ndukwe, right? You talking about the guy?
Yeah, yeah.
They do a lot of business with Ndukwe.
Huh?
They do a lot of business with.
Okay, give it to him. Somebody
but they do give him money.
You give it to a slum lord.
Because a slumlord might own a prime piece of property that the city really needs. I'm not trying to take up for him, twin. I'm just trying to.
It's a bad reputation to me.
Well, you can't. You know what? Sometimes good shit happen for bad people. It's just like that. Because you know what?
Part of life.
You can't.
I understand.
Exactly. You can't punish 200 residents because of one individual being a bad person. See what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to make sure that, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to reinvest into this bad investment. Sometimes you have to do that because it's more valuable, fixed up right, looking presentable. And it's a bad building could tear up an entire neighborhood as far as property value. Yeah. And now you got people complaining in the city, complaining, the neighbors, what I'm saying? There's a lot of reasons why things happen and we don't know. A lot of times it just doesn't make sense to us. But the
Yeah.
reason why it don't make sense to us is because we're not in the room. We're not
Yeah.
there to hear what the real issues are, and we don't know the options of the settlement. And sometimes the option of the settlement is one that you and I would never understand, bro, because we don't know the cost factor in all the different settlements. And maybe the $1 million is cheaper for the city than doing it the way option B or C was. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. Hey, you think that was a good move for Cincinnati? I just didn't know about it till somebody said it in the chat.
You talking about Joe
Like,
Flacco? Well, I don't think it got worse for us. I think it got better to have Joe Flacco versus Browning. I was on, well, you were on the show. You watched that show last night. I was on Day to Day last night on their podcast, and I said that on the show. I was like, you know what? The Bengals need to go out and get somebody.
you said a veteran.
Yeah, they needed a veteran.
Yeah.
They need a
I
veteran
remember.
quarterback. They
Yeah.
need to get somebody like Joe Flacco who can come in and manage the team, manage the game.
Yeah.
I mean, Browning is just not. He's not the guy.
You think they? So you wouldn't never went after Shador?
No, Shador's not a starting quarterback in the NFL.
A lot of them not no starting quarterback. They trash, but he would have, probably made a difference because he got the little baby arms, and I know he can run. But
no, I think if I was Deion Sanders, his father,
yeah.
I would have said we're going to turn down any trade. We don't want to go to Cincinnati. That's not a good fit for him. I would love to have him here, but it's not a good fit. He would get destroyed. He would be he would look like a bad quarterback if he came to Cincinnati and played, because the offensive line don't support a guy like him. He's not seasoned enough to see what's coming, and he's not seasoned enough, bro. So he would come off as being what people were trying to say about him. Oh, he's a bad quarterback. He can't read defense. It wouldn't be a good fit for him. The Bengals, if you're going to have what we have right now, the way it's set up, you're going to have to bring in a seasoned quarterback who can, understand what's coming at him. You can't bring a rookie in.
He not read the defense, all that, but I wish he had a little legs on. He can run. If he was able to run, Joe Flacco would have been all right, though. But he can read the defense, and he's been through that slump or whatever. But
yeah, I don't like running quarterbacks. I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL right now is Lamar Jackson for Baltimore. I'm not a Baltimore fan, but I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. But you see, he's out right now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. He's hurt because, and he doesn't even run as much as he used to. Hold on. Somebody said something about the story that you were talking about. Andrea, she said the story that Twin is trying to talk about is the city manager gave $1 million to preservation of affordable housing for repairs to the Terry Minor apartments in Lower Price Hill. You got a problem with that one, Twin? Is that the one
they was talking about? He was a slumlord, though.
Okay, but
way before then. That guy who was running that show, he was a slumlord. That's why I was, they gave it to a slumlord. That's why I was, rebounding off of what they were saying. Oh.
Yeah. I just,
So I don't know too much. I knew they was, so I'm a part, but I didn't really know. I was going off what people were saying, like, dang, why would she do that? And people talk down on like he's a slumlord. How people know he ain't gonna do their ass in.
Yeah, no, I think that it's strategic. I think that the city manager is probably making this type of move because there's not a lot of new construction around the city of Cincinnati. I think we get confused when we use certain language. I hate to say this, black folks, but they always tricking us by the words and the language that they use. Okay, when they say affordable housing, they never tell you that affordable housing is not market rate housing. Okay.
They don't know the definition of Cincinnati affordable house. They need to stop saying that.
Well, I just think that we get mixed up. We always, we fight for things and then somebody come around and take it over. You see what I'm saying? There's just so much of that go on. Black folks have been used to, we've been used a lot to fight for things. Then we get those things and then it's infiltrated by other people and other groups. And then they benefit from our fights. And then they continue to use the terminology and we think it's meant for us. And, other people are benefiting from it more so than us. And I just think that we need to pay attention. And that's from your leadership because they know better. They might put it out there a certain way. They know it's an unhonest. It's not It's not honest. They know that, but they know that most people won't really ask any questions because they're stuck. I'll give you a perfect example. The Macy's building. Okay. The Macy's building was taken over by the city, and the city, can you hear me, Twin? I'm sorry. You're
Yeah,
right.
I hear.
The city of Cincinnati took over the Macy's building downtown. That's a huge, large building, right? They ended up turning it into like retail, our commercial space at the bottom, housing at the top, and all of that. Everybody was tickled pink because they were talking about they brought in a minority contractor to do the work. Now, as a black man, as black folks, we think minority contractor. Thank God they probably spending some money with us. We got the contract to do the, you know what I'm saying? We got the contract to do the building. Yes, the city hall is treating us right. We got this contract to do the Macy's building. Well, when I did the research, it was pretty clear to me that the minority business happened to be, I don't want to call them Arabs, but they were those type of people based out of New York. But yet, I'm not going to mention the city council member's name, but soon as the cameras cut on and they want to start talking about minority contracts, they got their ass on the cameras and talking about, and yes, this is a minority contract bid, and it's, you know, we're going to do this, and it's going to, they said it shortly, but then they start talking about all the progress that it's going to be. It's going to add 300 units. It's going to do this. It's going to have retail at the bottom and blah, 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 blah. It all sound great until you know who the minority contractor is. It ain't us. It ain't even a Cincinnati us. It's a minority contractor out of New York that don't look like us, because what y'all don't understand is white women they qualify for a minority contract just like we do as black folks, and Asians and Indians and all those guys, everybody that's outside of a white person qualifies as a minority contractor. But when you sell it to your city and say, hey, we got a minority contractor coming in and doing this, you would think it would have been K&W, my boy over there doing his thing. You would have thought it would have been somebody locally, because that's the perception that was put out there. It was just not honest. And I brought it up on the show. I showed y'all the CEO/owner of the company, showed you it was out of New York. And some of your local leaders didn't even know that was the case. I'm not talking about local leaders as far as city council. I know they knew. But I'm talking about some of your people out here that speak for the community. They were under the impression, what do you mean that's not a minority contractor like black folks? I said, no, look at it. Look, this is who it is. It's this company, the TLC, something, TCC. It's been a couple years since I've talked about it, but it's a company out of New York. And I just think that we always go out and fight for things. We're the front face. We on the Jet magazine. We on the face. We got the center cup. We got the center jet fold, centerfold, and we got the face on the front, but we don't own the company.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So we got to get away. We got to get away from all this shit that people have infiltrated on us. They get in our causes, just like DEI. Everybody mad when somebody get mad at the fact that DEI come up. We got black folks going after each other's throat for DEI, when in fact the numbers are very clear that white women benefit more off of DEI than black folks. And
what is it? 7% we is?
It's lower than that. It was lower than that.
And I think the Mexicans 7%. We like 3. I want to say. Well,
it all depends on what field we're talking about. When we were talking about in the corporate, it was more like 4.5%.
Yeah.
But that was meant for us. I know, because I used to go after contracts, minority contracts in one of my businesses myself. And you know who my biggest competitor was white women in that space that I was in. See what I'm saying? So, hey, I mean, we just got to we got to pay attention. You know, we got to just pay attention to how we getting played out here about certain things. That's all.
Yeah. That's all I had to say. I just thought
Twin.
You might know about it, though.
Okay, bro. I appreciate you, man.
I
Thanks for calling.
Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Wyatt.
Thanks for engaging with us. That was Twin, y'all. Appreciate it. Now, to be fair, Terry, she said, wow, he's still on the phone. He waited about 15 minutes before I got to him. He was on the call for about 34 minutes. And to be fair, I probably did more talking on that call than Twin did. Let's be honest. This time, I'm not suggesting yesterday, day before that, or some other time. But this time, I think I did more talking on this call than Twin did. you know, and I don't know. I just think that, we got to be a little bit more thorough in who's actually helping us. Fame said white women should not be considered minorities. Their womb produces the majority. That's a bar. That's a bar. I give it to him when he got it. All right. I'll give it to him when he got it. But they are. You can look it up. They are considered a minority. And how that happens is because what happens is the same people that really we thought was fighting for us to get this position, those are the ones, Fame, that spearheaded that. They're the ones that made it possible. Do you really think that black people could have got those things on their own? You really think we could have implemented or had that thing turn law on our own? You really think they care? You don't think that they did that so they can benefit from it? I mean, come on, man. We've all dealt with it. You ever had somebody in your life that only do things for you when it benefit them? I've ran into those type of people. I think ladies call those type of guys when they dealing with a man that does that. I believe that ladies call those type of men narcissists, right? Whenever a man is in a woman's life and he's benefiting off of her and he's trying to be the head of the house, but he's not really, you know what I'm saying? He's manipulative and all that. Women call men narcissists that do that. What do we call a woman that does that same thing? See, we got a name. We call y'all difficult. Women call men narcissists. Let me go to the phone lines right away. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's Ron. Hey, man.
Hey, Ron.
You need
Can I
to,
say hello?
Hey.
Can I say hello?
Hey. Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello, Ron. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. What's
I'm
up?
excited because of what Fame said. That was a bar and a half. We need to write that down and keep that secretly amongst ourselves.
Okay.
Anyway, we were
Okay.
talking about economics and you were talking about that.
Okay.
So
now
now
let me say you're right. I gave Famous. Don't look, bro. Don't gas him too high. Okay. Don't, because he's gonna mess it up.
yeah.
He's gonna call in
You
here
know he
talking
go
about fat, you know what's and all that. Don't.
Hey,
What's up, bro?
but check this out. Okay, now we talking about economics and you know who for us and who ain't. And when I say stuff, man, you know I be saying some foul stuff about Democrats around here and Democrats as a whole, and black folk being, you know, I always not for us. Okay. Now, when I say that, I'm speaking from emotion, and I'm speaking off of things that I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I ain't gonna speak on nothing that I can't, produce receipts for.
Okay.
You know, I ain't gonna do that. So I want to say, I'm gonna say this now. Back when Transitions Care first started, we were going out to get loans, like normal businesses do.
Yeah.
So at the time, I have a lawsuit against the city of Cincinnati and the prosecutor's office and Hamilton County Court. ABTAB, the clerk of courts. Now, ABTAB at one time it told me, because of what the situation I was going through, to contact him. If I needed anything,
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the reason I'm saying that about the economics.
Okay.
Now, so we going out trying to obtain loans and all that other stuff, and what black businesses don't know and what they don't tell you is that Huntington Bank has a special loan that they give to minority-owned businesses, and you should check that out. And I can't remember the details of it because it was, so long ago and that I had to do that. But you can check that out.
Okay.
So we went to the bank to get that loan, and they were saying that that I had a business that I owed taxes on that I ain't paid my city taxes on,
Okay.
my county or my city and county taxes on.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't have a business like that, So he did some stuff and found some stuff out. So what I found out was, and it wasn't any other reason, but because I had filed this lawsuit against the city and the county and the clerk of court's office. What I found out was that the clerk of court's office had put this business on there, and that I had to pay. No, I didn't have to pay taxes on it. I had to write a letter and say, that the business wasn't never open, because I had just established, the EIN and all that other stuff, and it wasn't even open. But they have put, the clerk of court's office had put an issue on my credit report and on the on my what is that? What is it in the clerk of court's office? Well, on my record,
Okay.
as I owe taxes and stuff on that business.
So were you sued for the taxes?
I'm sorry?
Were you sued for the taxes?
No, I wasn't sued for
So
the
you
taxes.
never had any court appearances or court dates or anything like that?
No.
I'm only asking you that, Ron, because it shouldn't probably be on there unless they had a judgment. You can't put anything on your
but you know what?
on your credit report.
But you know what?
Okay.
It is on there, and you can go in there. It's a see something. You can go on there and look. You can go in there and look. See, they can do little shit like that.
Have you
but
ever
they
tried
can't take it. But they can't take it away.
Have you disputed that on your credit report?
Oh, I disputed it and all that other little stuff, and they had to take it. They had to take it out.
Right.
They still have the case number and stuff up there and stuff. But it's a trip. Like I said, they did little stuff, but they can't take it back. And that right there is another sort of what I want to call it. That right there is another sort of issue that Black men have, that Black people have, with going against anything, and it's a hard thing to see that other people that identify as Black folk, as Black or minorities, can do something like that to somebody else in order to keep them from building wealth. So it's a bunch of little shit. It's a bunch of little shit that people hijack our causes for, and that they when they have their jealous little idiocies and all that other little stuff, it comes into play. And it just comes into play, in the Black community on a regular basis. And like I said, I can do this all day with what I'm talking about. I can do this all day.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, what you saying?
No.